an official 14-day quarantine has already been issued for the state of Ogun, Lagos, and our dear old capital, Abuja. But for some people, that is just, late news, because some people have been in isolation for a week, 2 weeks, some 10 days, different shades of isolations. And I'm here to talk about one major thing that's going to be affecting the minds of a lot of people, and the majority of those people that I'm talking about is we young peoples, because our nyash just cannot stay in one place. Like, we are too restless. Anyway, yes, I am going to be talking about cabin fever today. Welcome to Volatile Times with Adisa Daniel, and you are in for a treat. Okay, so many people are now isolated, you understand, and it's going to be a bad time for a lot of people, and it's going to be regular day for a lot of introverts, you understand. Like, there are some people that don't need to make life changes. People like me, I've barely had to make any life change to this whole isolation of a thing, which is just sad on its own. Yes, it's sad. Thank you very much. Let's move on. But why am I talking about cabin fever? Is because, staying boxed in can be really hard on the mind. Staying boxed in, seeing the same faces every single day, having to do the exact same thing every single day, it can get stressful on the mind, which is where cabin fever comes in. And you might be wondering, what exactly is cabin fever? Well, the thing is, cabin fever is a popular term, that is basically associated with being isolated in a building for a particular period of time. You understand? Like, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, it is the feeling of being angry and bored because you have been inside for way too long. Basically, cabin fever is what happens when you are stuck in a building. You understand? Some experts believe that cabin fever is a sort of syndrome, while others feel that it is linked to such disorders as seasonal affective disorder and claustrophobia. Basically, cabin fever is you not being able to go out, and then you feel some type of way about it. Let's end it there. Okay, by the way, I will be linking various resources that I used for this episode, you understand? When I post the link for this on Twitter, I'll just link those. I'll just post the links on my Twitter page. My Twitter is at Daniel Briggs. Briggs is spelled Briggz. Briggz, Daniel Briggs, together. So you can just go there and get those resources, get the links to those pages yourselves, and then read up, because I'm not going to be covering everything. Yeah, we good? Okay, moving on. So basically, I've said what cabin fever is, and cabin fever is actually not labeled an actual mental disorder. So don't worry, you are not about to go crazy, like actual crazy. Don't worry, Yaba Left is not singing your name at the end of this isolation. Hallelujah, somebody, amen. But cabin fever is something that can have lasting physical and mental effects on you. Yeah, it's not considered a disorder or a mental illness, but at the same time, it is something that can have a lasting effect. And some of you are already experiencing it. All those weak-minded ones, where it's barely 4 days into the thing, and you guys have already gained 200 pounds. Like, sorry, I didn't mean. Okay, but during this period, many of you are going to be extra frustrated for no good reason. Some of you are going to be eating more, going to be bored more, you understand? And the funny thing is, many of these things actually have like a science behind them. For instance, now, because we are going to be in a single position for a lot of times during these coming days, we are going to be bored. Some of us are going to be really, really bored, massively bored, especially in a place like Nigeria, where you have to watch how you use your phone so that the battery will not die, because and then you have to worry about data because our network providers are, just stingy. By the way, here's a cheat code. if you want extra data, go and get a new Airtel SIM and then text get to 141. You are going to be getting, I think, double data for like 3 to 6 months. So it should even last you well after the isolation days. Can I get an amen? Amen. Yes, moving on. So basically, okay, take for instance now, there's something called there are two hormones in the body called serotonin and melatonin. This is where we get a little bit of science, but don't worry, I'm not about to bore you. Now, melatonin is basically called the hormone of sleep or hormone of darkness. In other words, it is that part of the brain, and it is part of a gland in the brain basically that produces hormones that aid with your sleep. It helps you fall asleep and improves sleep quality and increase sleep duration. And some of you have already noticed it, that you are sleeping a lot more during this isolation days. You understand? It doesn't matter whether it's just been for 2 days or 3 days, but because you've been idle, because you don't really have anything to do, basically your body is going to be producing more melatonin when you are bored. You understand? And your body will at the same time want to make up for the excess in melatonin by acquiring more serotonin. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is serotonin? Serotonin is a chemical that has a wide variety of functions in the body, and it is sometimes called the happy chemical. Why? Because it basically contributes to your happiness, sort of. I'm not a medical practitioner, so forgive me if I am not really that accurate in my delivery of these things, but basically serotonin is happy, while melatonin is bored, sleepy, basically. So now you might notice that you're eating more, and that's because your body is trying to gain a little bit more serotonin into your body system. You understand? Make you a little bit much more active, a little bit much more happy, but at the same time you are sleeping a lot, melatonin. And these are side effects of the fact that you are going to be isolated for a long time and you are going to be doing basically nothing, like nothing. Let me tell you how my day was today. I woke up and just took my phone, after prayer and all those stuff. Just took my phone, just went on social media and just started reading news articles I wouldn't read on a normal day. I didn't really do anything. There was already food, so I just won food, chowed, then played game, then called some people, and then slept. I've been sleeping a lot, yes. So I need exactly what I am going to be telling you here. But basically, that's the gist about cabin fever and, the hormonal imbalance that it brings. But I don't want to dwell too much on that because I don't want to create some sort of panic. Like I said, you are not going to go psychotic. You are not going to lose your mind or go crazy. You might be a little bit more irritated. You might be a little bit more moody. But don't worry. I don't think you are in that much danger, basically. So, moving on from that point, there's a video I watched, and this video is by DW News, which is apparently a global English language news from Germany, and the presenter was a woman called Kyodora. Fine lady, Asian looking but fine. And she was interviewing two different people. One was an astronaut, Roman Charles from European Space Agency, who was isolated for, get this, when you hear Yawiri, or maybe this is just a strange kind of dedication, he was isolated for 520 days, thereabout, like a year and a half, basically. We are already isolated for 4 to 10 days and we're already complaining. Imagine what it would have been for this guy. Like, this guy is an isolation boss. He and his team, an isolation boss. I am not going to go into the reason for why he was isolated. He was isolated for 520 days. And she also interviewed somebody, a woman, Rima Stira, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, of the University of Toronto. I think she works in the psychology department. I think she's a doctor. I didn't really catch that detail. And they were talking about the effects of isolation and how isolation was for him. You understand? And they gave some really, really helpful tips. Like, I consider them helpful because I'm going to be applying them in my life, because my life needs something. It needs something. I cannot go on like this. Oh Lord, please, I cannot go on like this. But basically, they gave us a series of do's and don'ts. You understand, a couple of ideas of how we can make ourselves basically not shrivel up in boredom this season of isolation. So I'll be right back in a sec, giving you the do's and don'ts of COVID-19 isolation. Okay, now before I get into this, you might be wondering, why exactly do I need to be worried about cabin fever? Like, Opolo and bear more strong going, you understand that kind of thing. But cabin fever creeps on people. It has different effects on various people, you understand. It's not like as if it's an actual illness, you understand. It's just like a situational condition, let me put it that way. So according to Rima Stera of the University of Toronto, due to isolation and the resulting cabin fever, some people experience PTSD, some depression, you understand, some have trouble sleeping, some have trouble controlling their sleeping habits, just a myriad of things. So like habits get affected, personalities get affected, relationships get affected, you understand. And some of us by the end of this isolation are going to be traumatized with a syndrome that I call Nigerian parents. Yes, that's it. So anyway, getting to the do-don'ts, you understand, just tips that the 520 isolation guy Romain Charles and Rima Stair and what's the name of the presenter lady again? I can't remember. So that's it. Since they gave us, you understand, that I'm going to dash to you. Since they gave me that I'm going to dash to you, basically. Okay, first off, remember why you are in isolation. You understand, everybody knows what is currently going on. Everybody knows about the virus. Everybody knows about how it spreads, which means by this time, if you don't know how the virus spreads and that it is not airborne, first of all, if you don't know how it spreads, if you don't know, basic things about this virus, you are a she or he goat. Yes, in fact, it doesn't matter gender. You are a goat. Finish. You're not the greatest of all time. You understand? You are just a simple man goat. Go and get educated, you simpleton. Go and get educated, you heathen. You unfilial. You unpatriotic vermin. I believe that's enough insult to get you vexed to go and get educated about the thing that is killing people around the entire world and why everybody is stuck staying in their house. We good? Okay. So, like I said, remember exactly why you're isolating. And the best way to show that you care currently, or one of the best ways to show that you care currently, is to stay in your house, you understand? Don't move around, don't go to places that are rich with the virus, you understand? Don't become a carrier, don't become a spreader, you understand? Stay in your house. And I have a bonus episode coming to that effect that I told Egungu, isolate yourself, but I'm going to be talking about isolation basically. You understand? It's just going to be like a rant kind of stuff. So basically, remind yourself why you are isolating. You understand? It will make things easier having a goal in mind. You understand? Knowing the bigger picture. Remind yourself why this isolation is a good thing. I mean, for those 3 states that I mentioned at the beginning, Ogun, Lagos, and Abuja, it is 14 days. We don't know whether it will go further than that. We are hoping, we are praying it doesn't go further than that, because the economy of many individuals or families are going to be affected. But still, remind yourself why you are isolating. And moving on from that, secondly, create and stick to a routine. Yes, create and stick to a routine. Now, routine will help you get a sense of stability, will help you get a sense of normalcy, you understand? Like, many of us complain about having to do the same thing over and over again, but the thing is, we are not doing them in a very structured way. And I'm not saying you should draw up a plan, cardboard, dream board kind of nonsense you get. I'm basically just saying, like when you wake up in the morning, you understand, okay, I'm using 1 hour to pray, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And then maybe from like 10, you are jobless. Then when it's 1 o'clock, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing this. You understand? Like, give yourself tasks that you will be doing. Assuredly, you be doing during different times of the day, you understand? It's going to help you be busy, it's going to help you get some stability, you understand? And it's just give yourself things to do. Basically, be busy, give yourself things to do, you understand? It's good to always be busy during times where you have nothing better to do. You understand? It's going to help keep your mind sharp. It's going to help keep your, heart rate, blood vessels, hormones stabilized, and all that issue. You understand? Exercise. You understand? And I'm telling myself this because I need to exercise. Exercise, you get. So third one, and this third one might seem a little bit like a contradiction to the one I just mentioned, but calm down. Now this third one is simple. Procrastinate a little bit. Yeah, procrastinate a little bit. There is no point doing all the tasks that you could split up within a week in one day. You understand? You see this stuff, you're like, you see 3 pieces of clothes and you're like, you know what, I can wash that tomorrow. You understand? I can wash it tomorrow. Now I know some of us, we have African parents, and African parents for some reason, I say African parents, Nigerian parents for some reason, they like spring cleaning. Every day spring cleaning. Every day you will clean something. There's something to wash. There's something to sweep. Something. Kiddo day. Shayini. Ejo. Sincerely, like, there's always something to do in the house. So like technically I should even be telling you to find something to do, but really if you're isolating alone, or you don't live with your parents or something, or your parents are very chill and relaxed and very liberal about things, you need order, and amongst those orders sometimes you need to insert a little bit of chaos. So procrastinate a little bit so that you have things to do the next day. You understand? No point to doing everything you can do in a week in one day. Really, you are just going to bore yourself to death. You understand? So the next point, the fourth one, is, start something new or different. Now, for me, it's this podcast, the Volatile Times podcast. But technically, it's not Corona that brought about this podcast. The podcast had been in the works since September. Is it September? No, I think since November last year. Understand? I've been planning on starting it in 2020, and I was supposed to start in January, but it got derailed, and I started in March, etc., etc., etc. Long story short, I am doing something that is different from my everyday life. So I guess I did make a little bit of life change for this isolation. Yay me! So find something new to do. You understand? Pick up a new hobby. You understand? Open a TikTok account or a Thriller account. You understand? Get a Snapchat. What else? Online classes, learn a new skill. You understand? You can do all these things because you have a lot of time on your hands right now. Sincerely, you do. So next up, since I already lost count, sorry. Well, next up, if you're isolating not just by yourself but with other people, you understand, family, friends, roommates, etc. Just because you are going to be with these people almost 24/7 doesn't mean you have to see their faces almost 24/7. So basically, the next point is give each other space. If you are isolating with other people, give each other space. You understand? Have zones. You understand? Let there be times where you are truly by yourself. You understand? So that way you not have to deal with that annoying, frustrating thing that people do sometimes. You know what that thing is. Let's move on. Okay, this one is close to my heart and close to the heart of a lot of people, and it's simple. Don't let data finish. Once data finish, you are dead. You are dead. Before coronavirus kills you, but don't have killed you. Don't let your data finish. Manage your data. You understand? If you are like me and you love watching YouTube, go that YouTube. You understand? Use Opera Mini instead of Brave or Chrome or Firefox or whatever it is you do. Don't connect your hotspot to your Lapi. You understand? Don't connect your hotspot to iPhone because, well, I don't like iPhone. There are reasons for it, but I'm not going to get into that, obviously. So basically, don't let your data finish. You understand? That way you can stay in touch with people, because really technology has helped us to be able to stay in touch with people, but we need one thing called the internet, and to access the internet you need that one thing called data. You understand? Data. D-A-T-A. Data. D-A-T-U-M. Singular. Data. I don't know why I'm being like this. Basically, we need data to stay in touch with, information, get ourselves updated, you understand? And also to help us get our minds off things, you understand? See, when you are idle, your mind tends to go to the worst places most of the time, no matter how much of a positive person you are. So, you have data, you can watch skits online, you can upload your TikTok bad dance videos. We know all of us know that our dance videos are bad. Technically, I don't have a TikTok, so I am not part of the us, but solidarity and patriotism basically. So also you need data so that you can always catch every new weekly episode of this goodness. Yes, you know it, darling. You know it, darling. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so as I was mentioning the other time, you need data, and you need data to stay in touch with a lot of people, because credit is calling with credit, normal credit is expensive. Let's not lie, it's really, really expensive. You understand? I don't know how my parents were doing it, but it's really expensive. So, but while you are trying to stay in touch with people, you need to be mindful of a couple of things. Some people, the friends that they started with for this isolation, are not going to be the friends that they will end with in this isolation. You understand? Because when you are bored and you are just trying to find excitement anyhow you can, one way that overexcitement adventure can hurt you is the case of a running mouth. You understand? Then you start saying things that your ancestors will not even say in their sleep. You understand? You start talking like somebody that is drunk without the actual alcohol. My brother, my sister, your doom is looming. Your doom is shaking, is looming. You understand? Don't play truth or dare with people. These are people that you are, especially people that you are isolating with. These are people that you have to be with for a while. You understand? Don't pick fights. You understand? Don't start an argument because the other person can't walk away from it. Oh, ye girlfriends and wifeys, that one was for you. Women in general, don't start arguments because that person is stuck inside that house with you. That is just evil. That's devious. And some men also do this too. Like, what the hell? Please don't go on unnecessarily annoying people. Do you understand? You have to stay with people mostly 24/7 for a while. You understand? What you need is not for these people to be angered at you or to be frustrated with you. You need a little bit of social balance, which is why I said previously, give yourself space. Give yourself space, you understand? Don't be all up in each other's face all the time, you understand? No matter how much you care about each other and everything, it's easy to get annoyed, and sometimes annoyance because there's nothing else, there's no other activity to occupy your emotions. Annoyance can dominate, anger can dominate, frustration can dominate, and then the next thing, a small little matter of you did not bottle the water bottle head very well can turn into a generational battle. I'm just saying. So, and also don't play pranks on people. I know this is April, but really don't play pranks on people, you understand? Like, somebody played a prank on me on April 1st, and sincerely, like, it was not funny, it was not welcome at all. That shit scared the hell out of me. You understand? So don't play pranks during these times, you understand? People are already agitated, people are already frustrated, people are already afraid, you understand? You don't need to start making them a little bit much more afraid. You don't need to start sowing different kind of panic. See, don't go outside and start doing I think I have corona. My brother, there's no corona that will kill you. We'll push you to the let me know. Okay, let me just keep quiet on that particular one, you understand? So, like, maintain harmony, people. Maintain harmony. I can't stress it enough. Maintain harmony. Point number next. Don't binge eat. Do not binge eat. Sincerely, we don't know the state the economy is going to be. We don't know how things are going to either rapidly decline or rapidly, upward movement. I don't even, like, English left my head, you understand? But basically, we don't know how things are going to be in the future, you understand? We can make predictions, but we are not sure of anything. So please do not binge eat, you understand? Do not binge eat. Do not give into the awesome and stupid temptation of online shopping, you understand? This is not the time for you to think, oh, things are going to be very cheap very soon. My dear brothers and sisters, Brooklyn is issuing passports, and you just find yourself that you're a loyal and commendable citizen of the town of Brooklyn. It will shock you. Anyway, moving on, point number next. Don't miss weekly updates of this podcast. Really, don't. There's going to be weekly updates. I'm planning on staying devoted to this. There's going to be weekly updates, so do not miss this. Like, do not miss this for anything. That's why I said, let there be data. A word is enough otherwise. Basically, don't become a rapper. That's the next point. So don't become a rapper. See, the reason why I said to become a rapper is because some people are going to become, say, they discovered rapping talents that the Holy Spirit did not inspire in them in the first place, and then they are going to be demoralizing our soul with some lyrics that, oh God of mercy, even the archetypes of hell cannot use it as torture mechanisms because it's going to be way too wicked. So please stick to your game, stay in your level. Do not become a goddamn rapper. Yeah. Okay, so moving on, the next point is actually a simple one, and I think it is something that everybody should keep in mind. It's basically, remember that this isolation is temporary. We are not going to be isolated forever. The zombie apocalypse is not coming on, and if it comes on, well, we'll survive that one too, you understand? So remember that the isolation is temporary. Remember that the things that you can't do now, you most likely will be able to do them after you leave or after the isolation time has ended, you understand? No need to feel like as if your entire life is going to stay in one place forever. And sincerely, your life doesn't need to stay in one place forever, Like I said, technology works, I bet there are things or there are parts of your life that you can move on over the internet, you understand? So basically that's that. Also, keep your mind on the positive side of things, you understand? Keep things positive, basically. Keep things positive, you understand? Watch a lot of comedy, watch movies, you understand? Watch series, binge those series and animes that you wanted to watch. Read those novels, those light novels and those mangas and those comics that you've been meaning to read, you understand? Keep yourself happy, engage in your hobbies, you understand? Engage in your guilty pleasures. By guilty pleasures, I don't mean actual guilty pleasures, just all those shows that, you normally will not watch in public. I'm not talking about porn here, mind you. I'm talking about things like Wags of Miami, dating no filter, all those kind of shows that I should not be saying I watch also. Yes, okay. So that's basically that. Then moving on, don't cut off your hair. Yes, don't experiment with looks. This is not the time to experiment with looks, you understand? Don't take inappropriate photos and put them on the internet. The internet is written in ink, not pencil. By the time the isolation is done, it will shock you. People will find it and your life will be made a living hell. So please maintain decency, you understand? The world hasn't collapsed yet. Hierarchies still exist. Social conduct still exists. Morality still exists. So please comport yourself well. Don't panic. Don't panic. Like I said before, keep things on the positive side of things. Also, endure your parents. Yes, Nigerian parents have issues. Nigerian parents, oh God, Nigerian parents have issues, and we are going to be experiencing a lot of those issues during these times. But I have a word for you, brother and sister. I have a word for you. There is strength by the Spirit. There is strength in your minds. There is strength in your bones, not just to withstand this isolation, but to also withstand the wahala of the Nigerian parents, especially the Nigerian momsy and the savage Nigerian popsy. Because those people say some really, really savage things, like, and sometimes they just ask you to do stuff for no good reasons, and there's no point behind that in they ask you to do. Just basically withstand your parents, because I know for those of us who are isolating with our parents are going to be really, really frustrating during this time. Yeah, before we used to have the excuse of we are going to work, but now we don't. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm just saying, keep it in mind. And then last but not least, and this particular one I cannot stress enough, be careful and don't involve yourself in any dumb accidents, you understand? Hospitals are being filled up, you understand? Medical facilities are being monopolized, or what's the word, you understand? I don't know what the word is, I've forgotten. English is failing me. Child, God of mercy. 1 week into isolation and my brain cells are already dying. Oh God. Father, Lord. Anyway, please do not get involved in dumb accidents. Sincerely, like, we cannot afford to stress the hospitals. We cannot afford to stress the medical practitioners right now that are at the forefront of keeping this pandemic in check. You understand? So please, don't start experimenting with inflammable stuff. Don't start. This is not the time for you to be experimenting with your stunts. This is not the time for you to be thinking, oh, I'm more flexible than I am. We both know you're not flexible. Your bone is thick. Your stomach is as big as mine. Your laps are as jelly as mine. Please, stay in your lane, you understand? Twerk your twerk and go. Don't hold wall and do twerking upside down. Twerk your normal standing twerk and go. Thank you very much. We do not need to see any new acrobatics and athletic things from you. You understand? Don't do past your place. You understand? Keep clean. You understand? Bath like 3 times a day with soap and clean water. Wash your hands always. You understand? After you poo, after you pee, after you eat, after you rub your nose, after you wash your hands daily. You understand? Hand sanitizers can only go so much. You understand? Implement soap and water into your hygiene regimen. You understand? Don't play pranks on people. Don't use somebody else's toothbrush. You understand? So just basically keep safe. Keep safe. Don't do anything dumb that will land you, that will have you being taken to the hospital. You understand? The hospitals are needed for the COVID-19. You understand? So please, except if you are really, really ill, you understand. Don't worry. Just because you have a headache and you are coughing and you have runny nose doesn't mean you have the COVID-19. Doesn't mean you have coronavirus. You understand? So just take things easy. Basically, that's all I'll say. Take things easy. You understand? Follow the guidelines that I gave. You understand? Always remind yourself of why you're in isolation. Remember to connect with people. Remember that this isolation is temporary. So always keep your mind on the positive side of things. Don't play pranks. Don't be a nuisance. Hey, create and stick to your routines, and also change things up once in a while. You understand? Spice things up. Procrastinate a little bit. You understand? All those kind of things, and just learn to exercise a lot of patience during this time. Really, a lot of people are going to not be coping to this as well as some people are going to be. So if you are one of those people who is going to be coping really well, or who is already coping really, really well, you are going to have to be a little bit patient with other people. You understand? Not everybody is on your level, so you're going to need to take care of people. Maintain social distancing, obviously, but don't social distance yourself on social media also. You understand? Reach out to people on WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. You understand? And basically, just be involved online. Let yourself have a routine, have things you do. Wear your makeup even though nobody might probably do it. Be like my mom said, that wore 2 dashing attires, 2 dashing outfits in one day, just to snap picture with 2 different sets of makeup, just to snap picture and go back to our room and sleep. Yours. Just make yourself feel like as if the world hasn't gone stagnant, basically. So thank you very much for listening to this. I'm grateful, and please don't forget to share this with your friends. Don't forget to share this on your timelines, and let me know what you think. You understand? Do you think this whole cabin fever thing is exaggerated? Also, what are your predictions for the isolation? You understand? Do you think this thing is going to go past the 14 days? How many states do you think is going to join in on the isolation thread in Nigeria? Also, what are your predictions of the economy? Is the economy going to totally collapse, or are we going to hold our heads above the water? You understand? So basically, reach out. You understand? And also, let me throw this out there. If you have an idea for a topic, or you have a particular article or something that you think people should be talking about but nobody is talking about, you can reach out to me. You understand? My email is altdanbriggs. That's ALTDANBRIGGZ, altdanbriggs@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am Daniel Briggs. You understand? And on Instagram, I am Daniel_Briggs. On Facebook, I am Daniel Briggs Adisa. So you can reach out to me through any of those means. I'm sorry, I am not giving my WhatsApp number. That is for private. So basically, thank you very much once again for listening. Please share with people. You understand? Reach out to me, and Stay safe, people. Stay clean, stay safe. This is Adisa Daniel with the Volatile Times podcast, signing out.